keep moving. So, you are depressed, or you're in a rut, or you don't know what to do next with your life, or you don't have the clarity you want, or you're completely confused about what you're to do in life, or you're completely confused about what reality is even. Just keep moving. This idea here has helped me a lot because counterintuitively, we don't really think that, just we would rather just stagnate and then stay there. A lot of times when we are feeling lost, when we're feeling low, depressed, confused, what we naturally do is we will just stop. We will just stagnate. We will freeze. But in fact, that is when we need the routine the most. That is when we need the self-care the most. And this is when we need to show love for ourselves the most. And self-love, as I've spoken about in a previous episode here, is that self-love is doing what you don't want to do, especially when you don't want to do it. I've also said self-care is work. Same thing here. With whatever situation you find yourself in, when you don't want, especially the ones I'm talking about with when you don't want to be in, notice that too shall pass. And, let's say if you're in there'll be hills and valleys of you enjoying your life and you hating your life. And if you're currently in a valley of where you're hating your life, just know that the hill is coming. But in order to get to that hill, you have to keep moving. Keep yourself strong. When stuff is not going your way, it is especially important to make sure you wake up on time. Still, make sure you go to bed on time. Still, make sure you put that workout in. Make sure that you move the needle in whatever way you can with your craft. And even if it's just another 5 minutes a day, you just need to get that habit in, that pattern in. Make sure you get that sleep schedule good, get the workout routine good, and make sure you're eating right. Make sure you're not overindulging in vices, because a lot of that can screw up just the regulation of your dopamine. I know for a fact for me, I am completely miserable if I'm always chasing one dopamine hit after another, especially in the mornings when I have to do emotionally difficult things. The emotionally difficult thing here to do in times where you're in a rut, in times where you don't want to do anything, the emotionally difficult thing to do is to keep moving. But that is exactly what one must surrender to if they want to get out of that rut. The fastest way to get out of any rut, whether it's your productivity, but more importantly, how you feel in general, how you feel about your day-to-day life, keeping strong with putting in that effort every single day such that you're not regretting how you spent that day. I would say it's almost impossible to stay in a rut when you're still at the same time always putting in that effort to stay consistent with all of your self-care routines. And by that, I don't just mean maintaining a physical body that's healthy and also a mind that's, happy, but I also mean, part of that with the mind being happy is by doing activities that will move the needle such that you feel like you are progressing in a certain direction, hopefully your life purpose, progressing towards your goals to actualize what you want to do here in life. When you can really build this skill to keep moving no matter what, you will be unstoppable. Now, this is easier said than done, but if you want to live an amazing life, then you would want to, as much as you can, correct your trajectory such that you are always leaning towards that continual movement, creating that continual movement in your life no matter what you're going through, what you're growing through, no matter what life is throwing at you. Because if you can still stay congruent, still stay consistent with your routines when shit's not going your way, when you're hating your life, when you're depressed, then that self-mastery will carry over through anything in your life, and you will be able to pull off whatever you want no matter what is going on. Because true self-mastery is being able to continually do what you need to be doing regardless of what is happening around you. And if you lived life for any amount of time, you will have noticed that life will always be throwing at things at you to throw you off. With the pressures of survival, the pressures, all that, just to be able to survive, and just the random things that happen in life, nobody predicted COVID-19 to happen. To still be able to stick to these routines, no matter what. And to ground yourself in these routines. So for me, I don't feel good if I don't do these routines of self-care, simply because for me, what makes me feel like crap is not necessarily what happened throughout the day, but more so what makes me feel negative is when I know that I wasted that day. It's when I know that I could have done more with that day. I could have learned more. I could have just worked a little bit more effectively to just take at least 1 inch step, to get just that much closer towards where I want to go. Sometimes is just your own skill of perseverance. That is not something to be taken lightly. The skill to be able to stick to your positive, healthy routines no matter what is a skill worth picking up, and it's a skill worth mastering. I think a lot of people undervalue this and they just go me. Stuff is going wrong, so the whole world's got to stop for me. When really, in reality, it's like, no, you have an opportunity to really learn how to master your emotions just a little bit more, master your discipline a little bit more. Because even if nothing is going your way that day, you can still have an awesome day because you will have put yourself 100% fully towards doing all you can, controlling the things you can control. And the things we can control is our reaction to the situations that are presented in front of us. What are we to do without our ability to exercise our will on our situations that are hoisted upon us? Someone that is truly about self-mastery will understand that it never really is about the environment that you find yourself in. You will be able to thrive in any environment no matter what because of your approach to every single day. This idea of keeping on moving no matter what, that has been incredibly helpful for many scenarios, just for me personally. When I feel like crap, or when I'm in a rut or whatever, I immediately just take a look at what am I doing. Do I have my sleep schedule together? Wake up times and bedtimes. Do I have my workouts together? Working out every day. Am I working on a project? Am I following a schedule? I've had a month there where I went like completely bonkers, completely, nuts, where I was having anxiety attacks, all the, like, I was in a constant state of anxiety, and like, I was having anxiety attacks frequently. I remember for that period, what was most important was to just keep on moving, because that too passed. This was a small, brief moment in my life. This occurred for about a month. And there's other times where, I was mad at the situation, but I knew in my heart that, and also I just knew from prior experience that it just goes way better if I just put my hardest work in. So what is that for you? In general, to wrap it all up, to summarize it all up, no matter what's going on, keep that momentum. Maintain that momentum, even if you don't want to do it, especially if you don't want to do it. A great way to reframe that is exactly your opportunity to level up. Especially when you don't want to do it. When it gets the most difficult, you are then meeting who you truly are. That is when you're being introduced to yourself. It is in that moment of adversity. For some reason it reminds me of Wes Watson talking about that one pan in the sink, that one dirty pan. Are you that person to just leave it there and wash it later, or are you to keep your principles in all areas and just wash that pan right away? Especially when you don't want to. So funny. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of times that it's going to be a lot of work to get out of the rut that you're in. But that's just your opportunity to keep on growing. And never waste a good tragedy, because there's a lot of personal growth. And never waste a good, moment in time where you're just feeling down. Because, the bottom line is, think about it this way. You're going to have, shitty times in the future. You're going to have off days in the future. Why not learn how to build the skill to get back on that horse on those days? Why not learn how to build the skill to shift those days to on days? Those days are earned. You have to put the work in. Wouldn't it be better to really focus on cultivating your ability to turn around any day, such that you can get the days that you want because you made it so, not falling victim to whatever's happening around you? So, if anything, when you're really not feeling it, notice that is just another opportunity to become a little bit stronger, such that you can weather the adversity that is coming for you in the future and in the far future. Adversity is going to be coming your way again and again until you're dead. So might as well have an attitude where you are a learner and you are always seeking each opportunity to learn how to master yourself a little bit more, your emotions, and what you do in all these situations. And so, put that perspective on and try that on for a year, at least. And notice how much your life will change because of that. So if you're in a really rough time right now, my closing thoughts are, hang in there, but also grant yourself the courage to keep on moving, to keep on pushing forward, doing those habits, especially if you don't want to. Keep going. You will crawl yourself out of whatever situation you're in, but you have to put in the action. And it starts right here and now. So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.